Dear Nepal, I want to speak to you directly about what's happening in your country now. My name is Kazi Mamun. I study geopolitics out of passion. You may not have seen my interviews with global leaders like Dr. Mahathir Mohamad or Dr. Shirin Ebadi, but I ask you to listen carefully to me next few minutes. Today, on September 8th, 2025, young people filled your streets. The protest was organized by HAMI Nepal, a non-profit born out of 2015 earthquake crisis. At first glance, it looks like youth power, but you must always ask, who funds these movements? Let's talk about Barbara Foundation connection. HAMI Nepal has a long connection with Barbara Foundation that is chaired by Dr. Sanduk Reid. The Barbara Foundation is named after Barbara Adams, an American activist and writer who lived in Nepal. After her death in 2016, the foundation was restructured. But its early donation pipeline included a US mailing address. You can find it online. The Barbara Foundation has even hosted HAMI Nepal in its office space. Let's follow the money. In 2021, the Barbara Foundation announced a special award of in Nepali rupee, it was like 10 million to frontline health workers during COVID. That was funded by Shorid and Aditi Gimiar. Its chair, Dr. Sanduk Reid, has a strong global NGO ties. He worked with the Fred Hollows Foundation in Australia to expand cataract surgery across Asia. He also co-founded Himalayan Cataract Project in the States. Now, Cure Blindness, a US-registered nonprofit that channels Western donations into Nepal and beyond. So while the faces may be Nepali, the funding networks often trace back to the West. Let's take a look at the pattern. This is not unique to Nepal, what's happening. In Bangladesh, foreign-backed NGOs and civil society groups played a key role in unrest and destabilizing the government under the banner of democracy and rights. The pattern is clear. Local groups, fueled by foreign money, creating instability that foreign powers can exploit. Why Nepal matters in global chessboard now? Why now? Because your country sits between China and India. The United States is engaged in a tariff wars and strategic clashes with China, India, and Russia. For Washington, Nepal is not just a small Himalayan state, it is a strategic wedge broken between US-China tariffs, and they're playing with you. And history shows they don't always need tanks or soldiers. They use money, NGOs, foundations at their entry point. This is a warning. This is not an attack on your youth. Their frustration is genuine. This is not an attack on HAMI Nepal. Their origin were noble. But when foreign money mixes with local anger, it rarely ends well for your nation. Nepal must learn from Bangladesh and from others before you. So I ask you, Nepal, when you see protest banners, ask who paid for that printing. When you see NGO offices, ask who funds the rents. When you hear slogan for change, ask whose change and whose benefit. The truth is simple. Foreign-backed organizations, directly or indirectly, are playing a role in today's uprising. Nepal, you cannot afford to be blind. This is the moment to see clearly, to protect your sovereignty, and to unite against foreign manipulation. Say it loud. You will not be pawns in another nation's geopolitical game. Wake up. Wake up now.